Well, hello everybody again. So sorry for the few days when I haven't been posting a video on YouTube. Now, I'm in Nyaung Shwe, which is the small town at the head of Inle Lake, at the head of the canal that goes to Inle Lake. And you're going to hear the sound of the boats going past, which adds to the ambience, yeah, rather than looking at my ugly face. So I'm trying to hold the camera still. I've had to be more concerned with getting electricity, because of the number of power cuts here, yeah, in the morning, in the middle of the day, in the afternoon, and so on. And the only time there was electricity was in the middle of the night, which wasn't much help. It makes it extremely difficult to teach online because I don't have enough electricity. My laptop battery will run down, and then I'm absolutely, stuffed, as you might say. There's a wonderful fast sports car going past, yeah? No, not quite. So I had to be running around trying to sort out to find alternative power sources. And what I normally do is to buy a car battery. But because I arrived in Nyaung Shwe just a day or two ago and was running around teaching lessons, I didn't have time to get a car battery, which was very annoying, very frustrating, because, of course, I ran out of power and I had to cancel one of my online lessons. However, today I've bought a car battery and well, it would be charging up if there was any electricity, but the electricity's gone off again. So when it comes back later this evening, I can charge up my car battery, hopefully for lessons tomorrow, and fingers crossed that it's got enough juice to actually power my laptop for enough lessons. I suspect it won't have, but anyway, we'll see as far as we go. The hotel where I'm staying at doesn't have a generator, but that wouldn't make any difference because I spoke to several other hotels and they only switch their generator on when they absolutely need to use it for customers, not for the likes of me. And they want to save fuel because the fuel problems in the Middle East has suddenly meant that there's not enough fuel in town for cars and for taxis, and even for the flights, domestic flights, which many have been cancelled. I'm flying back to Cambodia in about 2 weeks, at least I hope I am. I've got my flights booked and all paid for, but who knows what might happen. I might get marooned here. I really don't know. This is the canal, the head of the canal that heads down to Inle Lake, and as you can see, there's not really many people about. Very, very quiet. The only people I see are Burmese tourists from nearby Taunji city who come down to go in the long-tail boats to go around Inle Lake. If I have time, I might actually do the same. I've done that before. Yesterday was a busy day. I went and visited 2 of the orphanages that I support with my educational resources, support in some small way. These orphanages are on the edge of town. No motorcycle taxis, no taxis, no motorbikes to rent to foreigners because they won't rent to foreigners anymore. So I had to walk, and it's very hot. So I walked, about 4 kilometres out of town to one of the small Christian orphanages, which has about 10 children. And they're doing okay. There were no big deals there. And then I walked further, another 2 kilometres, to somewhere called Nyaung, which is a monastery orphanage for boys. They've got 76 boys there, and I've been supporting them with books for about 8 years now. There's a tourist boat going past. I don't know how loud that is on the sound. I'll have to check that afterwards, so I'll stop talking when the boats are going past. And so the boys were doing fine. They're looked after, actually, by another charity from England called Children Do Matter, who do a wonderful job of supporting that orphanage with all their general day-to-day needs. And I support it in terms of educational needs. So anyway, that's got 2 of those orphanages ticked off my list. One moment. There we go. And tomorrow I'm going to go. The hotel owner has agreed to lend me his motorbike to get to another orphanage out of town that I also support. And I tried to get there today by walking, but I'm too old. It's about 6 kilometres out of town, and it was 38 degrees, and I thought I'm not going to make it. So I stopped and gave up and came back. But tomorrow I'll go up there in the morning on his motorbike, which will be fine. And then the next orphanage, the orphanage tomorrow, by the way, is a very poor orphanage. Normally has about 100 boys there. It's a Buddhist orphanage. Last time I went, last year, there were 100 boys there, and there were 700 refugees from the fighting from Loikor town, which is a town I used to visit many years ago, south of Inle Lake. So I hope those refugees have been able to move on because they were short of food last time. I'll go there and see that, and then the day after that, I've got to go down to an ethnic group orphanage. Now, this ethnic group, in other words, they're not Burmese, they're Pa'o teenage boys and girls as an orphanage for them. And again, I've been supporting them for a long time. And so I'm going to go down there. I might actually be able to go down there by cutting across the lake in a boat, which would be good fun. But I'll need to check with the boat people if they can do that, because the village is halfway down Inle Lake and it's right by Inle Lake. So I think they've got a little a dock where the boats can pull up. Anyway, we'll see that. Right, I'll stop for the moment before another noisy boat comes along, and I'll post this up on YouTube and then follow it up with other videos. See you soon.